All right, how did you learn about and apply to the international writing program here in Iowa?
Well, I've been contacted by the U.S. Embassy back home, but that was last year, and I tried to apply, but it was too late, and something happened with the papers. But this year again, they sent me. Then they said like, well, you can apply now until tomorrow 4:30, something like that. And I had like a year and a day and a half to apply and to fill all the papers. And thank God I still had the papers from last year. And yeah, and they interviewed me and some other people, and then they contacted me like 2 months later. They said, well, you get it, so you got it. So yeah.
Okay. What has the experience been like to meet and collaborate with writers from such different backgrounds? You know, like has this been a period of intensive interaction and exchanges, or more of a sabbatical for finding the space to write in a different environment?
Well, it was very interesting meeting all these people from all these parts of the world, because I've never been in an international environment before, and it was very interesting to know what people are writing about and new styles of writing, and that was very interesting for me. And but I don't think I mean there was very like lots of events, and it was like, you know, putting candy in front of a child. You had to go to all these events, so basically at the end of the day there wasn't enough time to write, but at least the interaction was very interesting.
Have you visited the U.S. before?
No, this is my first visit to the US.
Okay. Well, what surprised you the most about the experience of being at the University of Iowa, or just in the in the Midwest more generally?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the quietness of Iowa. How is it quiet, and how is it usually just young people, young students all over the town. And I've never been in a place like that before. And also that people really here mind their own business. I didn't really expect that. I expected people to be more interactive than that. So, yeah.
Sure, sure. What struck you the most about the American literary scene, you know, just to the extent that you've experienced it? Is it different from the scene back in Egypt, or is it similar to your own literary culture?
Well, uh, based on what I saw here in Iowa, because I didn't go to, you know, many other places, it's not that similar, because back home we don't have so many lectures or readings or discussions. It's usually we live in small islands. We don't actually have a community or a place to gather all of us. It's just everyone is on its own. So it's actually very different than what happens back home.
Do you have a sense of how the IWP experience might affect your own writing?
And I think that it will have a great effect on my writing in the future. I'm sure it will.
Okay. Are the readings, the public readings, and the presentations, like at Prairie Lights and the Iowa Library series, are those a new or a familiar way of engaging with an audience for you? And
Well, I had a lot of readings back home and in Europe, but I think the panels was new to me, because I didn't participate in so many panels before, and that was very interesting. You know, panels based on literary subjects. That actually was a very good experience, and it was very new to me.
how do you contrast the relationship of author and audience here versus back home?
Yeah, well, back home it's more close, and people are more brave in like saying what they think and like discussing. And here people are more keen to listen than to discuss.
Do you anticipate taking part in other international writing events in the future, like, workshops or conferences?
Yeah, well, I'm very interested, and I'm already looking for places like that, so I can participate in more you know, international interaction with authors from all the world. It's been very useful, and I will try to find some more events like this.
And do you think of yourself as part of an international literary community as well as a writer from a specific culture or a specific language?
I'm not sure. I'm still very shy to call myself a writer, even back home right now. But I would love to think of myself as part of an international, movement or international community or something like that. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.